powerful enough to make noise. We have left Strand and went down through Gordon's Bay. We're going down the hotel in Strand, and we're headed south, following this highway along the edge of the coast. So we just pulled over here at a beautiful little spot to watch the waves hit the rocky coastline. We was headed on our way to Stony Point Penguin Colony. We still got about another 30 minutes to go to get there, but we wanted to stop and look at the water hitting the coastline. It's beautiful. You like that, huh? And the water runs down the rock after the wave hits. There's a lizard. Swimming in that river. That's even more powerful over there. And the water runs down the rocks. It makes it even prettier.
Yeah, we are here at the coastline of the Atlantic Ocean. I just love it. I love the way that the water is hitting the rock and the strap. So beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Amen.
Let me tell you, if you want to tour any place, any country, we are your tour guide. You just carry us with you. And we will not ask for hotel, we just ask you for the tickets.
Huh. What's it? Got penguins here behind us. All right, Susan and I are at Stony Point, and where the penguins are. Hi, Susan.
Hi.
I guess they live in these little things here. There's a couple of penguins over there. Here we are.
Here you cannot enter with a stick, a self-stick, because of
No why.
they are trying to take care of the penguin. They may think that you will try to hit a penguin.
Hello. Their first year come in to molt with gray faces. When they first leave the young colony, young penguins have a bluish tinge to the feathers. They spend the next 12 to 18 months at sea. Many are unable to find sufficient food and starve to death, or are caught and eaten by seals. Those that survive molt some of the feathers on their head, which is the part least in the water. This partial molt creates gray-faced appearance. At the end of this juvenile stage, those that can feed enough and have fat reserves to last through a month, then go ashore to molt into adult plumage. Hello, sweetheart. There's another one over here. Fishy fowls, frustrated sea dogs, and fuel oil. African penguins are threatened by overfishing, seals, and oiling. In the late 1940s, South Africans bought equipment from the collapsed fisheries of California. This processed sardines, locally called pilchards, and anchovies. Some were canned, but even prime fish were ground up as meal for domestic animals. This led to public complaints about the fishy taste of South African chicken and pork. Overfishing has led to the closure of factories and to a major loss of food for the penguins. The number of Cape fur seals has risen from less than 100,000 in 1900 to more than 2 million. The seals compete with penguins for food and displace penguins from some of their breeding islands. Big male seals maintain harems of females. Young males must wait 8 to 10 years before being able to mate. Their frustrated young males often prey upon seabirds, including penguins. Oil spilled at sea clogs penguin feathers. Incapable of maintaining their body temperature in cold water, they come ashore. There, unable to catch food, they starve to death. New housing developments. Penguins are being given artificial burrows. Penguins are adapted to live in cold water. On land, they suffer from heat on sunny days. Penguin poo seeps into sandy soil. As it dries, cements the sand. Penguins can then dig into the looser sand below the cemented layer. The burrows provide shade for the parents, eggs, and chicks. In this expanding colony, most of the sand is yet to be cemented. To provide shade for the penguins, artificial cement or fiberglass arches are being used to help penguins breed successfully. nocturnal sea donkeys. These penguins have a call that is similar to that of a donkey. That is why they were formerly called jackass penguins. 3 other species of penguins have similar calls. This species, which only occurs on this continent, is now called the African penguin. Penguins need daylight for finding food, so during the day many are away from colonies. They return in the late afternoon and evening. Courtship calling occurs mainly at night when most birds are in the colony. Fluffy competitors. Down-covered penguin chicks compete for food from their parents. Penguin chicks hatch covered in down. They grow so fast in the first 10 days that this gets too thin to cover them. A new thicker down layer grows. The chick hatch 1 to 2 days apart. The first hatched chick gets fed and is stronger before its sibling hatches. If food becomes inadequate for 2 chicks, the parents prefer to feed the stronger one. The weaker one may die or may reduce growth until the older sibling leaves. It then gets all the food and can complete its growth. The chicks are fed by their parents for some 80 days, 64 to 130, depending upon food availability. Better fed ones go to sea with fat reserves to last them through the period in which they must learn to fish. Hello, sweetheart.
Ein bisschen sketchy.
Ich habe auf jeden Fall noch mal eine Google-Rezension.
Tail-flicking fortune bringers. Cape wagtails are thought by Africans to bring good fortune. These small birds continuously wag their long tail. The tail movements probably distract the insects and similar animals upon which they feed. They are common shoreline foragers where they take sandhoppers and the special flies whose larvae grow in washed-up seaweeds. Wagtails feature in the folklore of Khoisan, Xhosa, and Zulu speakers, probably due to their frequent association with cattle. Wagtails are traditionally afforded protection. There's a lot of them out here.
That's what you're asking.
The circular building, lighthouse or watchtower, perched on the outer rocks, was built by the whalers. During the early whaling days, boats did not have radio communications with the shore. The building probably served as a watchtower. A man stationed in its shelter could see an approaching ship well before those at the harbor. He could then alert the factory staff to get ready. Some think the building served as a lighthouse. This is unlikely, as at night it would be too risky to bring a ship towing whales between the rocks and into the harbor. Banks cormorants breed on the outer rocks and are in danger of extinction. Bank cormorants occur only on the rocky coastlines of southwestern Africa. Their numbers have fallen dramatically over the past 20 years. The global population is now less than 5,000. They make nests of seaweed on rocks by the sea. When they poo, they drop their tail. This directs the liquid feces onto the side of the nest. As it dries, it cements the nest to the rock. Feast site or rubbish dump. This heap of very old abalone shells is a midden. It reflects repeated collection of abalone by the Khoisan people over many years. The meat was removed from the shells and either eaten locally or wind-dried for later use. This midden is a registered heritage site. No materials of any kind may be removed from it.
These are the one that is on your smarts.
The black looking ones. Fine feathered foursome. 4 species of cormorants breed on the rocks. This is one of the few places in the world where you can see 4 cormorant species together. 3 of these, all mainly black in appearance, occur only in southwestern Africa. The smallest is the crowned cormorant, which has a crest. The middle-sized Cape cormorant has a yellow patch at the base of the beak. The larger bank cormorant has a white hump. During courtship. The largest is the white-breasted cormorant, which occurs across sub-Saharan Africa. It It is a subspecies of the great cormorant, which occurs across Eurasia and in Australia. Hello, sweetheart. What's the name of this town? Something Bay. Betty's Bay. Betty's Bay, South Africa. And this is the
I don't know.
penguin colony.
I guess it's a big
It's a penguin colony in Betty's Bay. This is the Atlantic Ocean. These penguins are endangered. Lithophilic lichens. Patches of color are rock-loving lichens. Lichens are an association of fungi and cyanobacteria. Colored outer fungi screen out much of the sunlight. This protects the bacteria's chlorophyll. The bacteria process nutrients from the rocks and energy from sunlight. The lichen shares some of these with the fungi. Lichens live in extreme environments, like this bare rock. They cannot survive where the air is polluted. Streamlined tailed tasters. Cape skinks are lizards that may eat their own tails. These smooth-bodied lizards have stripes from their head to their tail. Normally they feed on insects, but if food is very scarce, they may eat their own tails. Cleavage planes in the tailbones enable them to shed their tails, which can then grow back. For safety, they stay near the cover of rocks or bushes. They are able to reproduce within a year of their birth. Some lay eggs and others give live birth to their young. Spiny-tailed sun worshippers. Armor-scaled, girdled lizards sunbathe on rocks. Girdled lizards are found only in Africa. They eat insects, snails, caterpillars, and ants. They are restricted to rocks as they use crevices for safety and sleeping. Their scales are rearranged in rows. Hence the name girdle. They have large, distinct heads and stout limbs. These lizards can shed their tails, but these never grow back. They give birth to live young. Betty's Bay, South Africa, penguin colony. See the waves hitting the shoreline, Atlantic Ocean, Betty's Bay, South African penguin colony. We're just watching the waves. A selfie or?
Yeah, a selfie.
We're in South Africa at penguin colony, Betty's Bay. Name of the town. See the penguins behind us. We've never been nowhere like this before, have we?
Thank you.
See the penguins in the water. Probably looking for food, I would imagine. Just paid for our fish and chips, fish and fries. We're in Betty's Bay.
Yeah, okay.
We just paid for our fish and chips at the penguin colony in Betty's Bay, South Africa. And I guess we're getting ready to leave.
And
We looked at the penguins and seen the waves hitting the shore. And ate some fish and fries, chips, as they say in Africa. And it's really warm. I guess it's about, 75 degrees Fahrenheit. What that is in Celsius. And yeah.
one of the things that I was served around this area is about most people are white.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're black here, you feel as if you're in a mess.
We're not sure why most of the tourists visiting the penguin colony seem like they're white or South African. What I mean is white South African or European or American or whatever they are. We don't know. Doesn't seem like there's many black Africans.
Yeah, very few.
I'm sure why. Of course, I'm from America and Susan's from Kenya. But as you can see, on the Edge restaurant.
So Lovers of Nature is a place to be.
Over this way is the penguin colony.
Okay, with Lovers